Hello, my name is Martin Schroeder, and this is my MDS 492 rough draft presentation. This is designed from a problem I decided to work on with my own personal life, and I've decided to kind of branch it out to other areas of social work that I plan on pursuing after graduation. Just a little introduction for you. Veterans commit suicide at an alarming rate. We have difficulty coping to standard life and enjoying the days we have after we leave the service. This problem is rampant and seems to not be changing with most of the efforts made in the government and by the community. I want to pursue social work, and I want to become a coach and trainer in martial arts, and I hope to use my skills learned in both the workforce and as a coach to help veterans find healing through self-improvement. Basically, the idea of this is that I would pursue social work in my day job after I graduate with a degree in multidisciplinary studies and in the master's program, and then after that, I would pursue kind of a gym or a program that helps veterans cope with leaving the service, and hopefully I can make for kind of a retreat that goes up into northern Idaho, and it's like a getaway. It would be called the Warriors Retreat. So for the how might I/we question, social work is the means for me. Healing and meaning in life is the end goal. Struggle in the pursuit of happiness. Research and a path for others. A narrative paper backed by research. I would be a subjective yet substantial research paper, but it would be very narrative based. The end goal for me in life is to save money, build a martial arts gym, and then buy land in northern Idaho to make a retreat specifically for veterans and whatnot, and other victim groups that I plan on helping through social work throughout the years. I would achieve this through careful financial planning over about 5 to 10 years. I know 5 to 10 years is a big gap, but that's just a rough estimate for kind of what I'm planning here. So basically, what I'm thinking is the lack of resources primarily stems from the reliance that veterans have on the VA and how overworked the VA is. Because you got to think, like, even at the numbers that the VA has at their disposal, they don't have enough people to treat everyone in the country. And at the rate that our country is making veterans, I think it'd be nearly impossible to sustain the amounts of payouts in healthcare that you would have to deal with. So hopefully, if I can kind of help alleviate that, I'm not proposing a complete solution, just if I can help alleviate and preserve some lives over to prevent some people from committing suicide, I think I would like to contribute to that. So that's what I want to base my Capstone project on, is coming up with a plan later in life to help kind of solve this crisis that we have going on in our country. The existing either ors here, is either I pursue something else, push towards a more conventional line of social work, or I pursue this and go along with it regardless of the challenges I may face with starting it. So I have a really huge problem with this, with essentially this rubric in the integrative learning proposal here. I don't like that it just makes me say either ors, because I already don't think that way. I know that there's a solution in between. I've already done this class, so I know that there's a solution in between. I don't really need to list out all the either ors when I don't really know. I already know that there isn't a black and white answer to this. I'm also not so arrogant to think that what I'm proposing is going to be a solution at all to something that is massive. It's a massive problem. I don't have the hubris to think that I have an either or solution to any of this. All I know is that I can do something, and I will do something. So the stakeholders / desired outcomes I came up with. The plan for this is to research and present my findings in an impactful and meaningful way using my own experiences as a template and the research to support my conclusions. The stakeholders in this situation are veterans, active duty, spouses, dependents, future generations of veterans, and America as a whole. The outcomes, hopefully I will at least find an effective outlet for the veterans in my sphere of influence, and prevent some from committing suicide and helping them find meaning in their lives outside of the military. I feel like there's a lot more stakeholders in this than I've listed already, because America, while we enjoy talking about helping veterans and helping people in need, we really only enjoy talking about it. We don't really enjoy actually doing it, because people feel like their efforts are meaningless, and I don't want people to feel like their efforts are meaningless. So oftentimes we like to say that we do things instead of actually doing them. And I feel that for a lot of people that are the downtrodden in our country. So I'm going to expand upon the references I have here. I'm just mainly citing the suicide numbers and whatnot, just to provide an example of the numbers that we have going on. There's been a lot of numbers thrown around, such as 22 per day or 17 per day, and that those numbers are very skewed. But bottom line is that veterans are still committing suicide at a very staggering rate, and it's at such a staggering rate that there's no way that the helplines, the crisis lines, can handle everybody, and there's no way that the way that our system's set up now can handle it. So for me, I just feel like if I can provide something, some kind of help, that's what I want to do. And the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to provide more research. It's going to be a lengthy research paper, but it's not going to be based solely in the research. It's going to be very narrative driven, because it is my opinion. It is my personal kind of my baby. It's what I'm going to do with my time when I get out of college and whatnot. And when I pursue a master's in social work, that's how I'm gonna pursue that as kind of my own personal crusade. And there's not gonna be a very hard lined science backing it, unless I can write papers that support it and I can find meaningful results in what I'm doing. I'll do studies and whatnot, but I don't find that there's going to be any surveys conducted or any interviews, because I do interviews on a daily basis. I talk to veterans constantly. So anyways, that was my presentation. Go ahead and let me know what you think.